Tēnā koutou katoa and no mai hoki mai, and welcome back to the E 2 Whanau National Touch Championships 2018 Tāmaki Makaurau Papakura South Side, coming live and direct from Bruce Pulman Park, and this is your open mixed final, Auckland versus Otago. Joining me in the commentary box, we've got Michael Kavanagh, Maya Williams, and we've also got another expert in the mixed game, Nathan Kirker. And so we've got, you'll be hearing 4 different views on this one. And Cav, how are you going to pick this one? Auckland are going for a three-peat. Otago, they're featured again in the final.
Yeah, cheers, Hika. Both teams have come up against each other twice already in this tournament, with Auckland getting the edge. It's just whether or not who has the legs and the ticker, like you said in the 21 boys final that I featured with. It's whether or not they're going to have the legs or the ticker in this one to continue going, or will Otago bring out something they haven't shown and turn the tables?
Yeah, this should be a tight tussle, rematch of last year's final. I'm going for Otago in this final, though. I think they might have the X factor to take it out.
And the officials for this one, Maya, we're definitely getting into the higher-ranked officials for this game. Looking out on the field there, another ref from down Pride Way, I see there.
Yeah, John Dusto is the lead referee in this combination. Rochelle Tamarua, one of the top 3 women in the world at refereeing, and Jacob Booth, one of the young guys coming through and will feature in these finals for many years to come.
Young Jacob, I see, he's been coming through the high-performance program now, Maya, so he's obviously investing a lot of time in the young ref.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a great program we've got going, and looking forward to the game.
Tap off here, and we've got Josh Stuff for Otago, so they'll just go, a few early nerves there, unfortunate. But ball's turned over. I've never seen a tap off like that before, but anyway, Auckland will take it. So Auckland will go up the field, and they're going to bring on, I dare say, you'll look for this combination. They've been working well together. So number 11, we've got Lewis Nicol. He works well with Nathan Wollaston, who's just on the field. And here's a new young boy that's come on the scene, Isaac. So a lot of speed in this combination.
Yeah, Auckland looking up to set up their attack here. Otago really shutting them down there. Long ball out to the wing.
Bit of heavy contact in the corner there from Duff, trying to amend his drop ball from the tap-off, I think. Otago looking to yard out of trouble. As we go to the replay here. Set up with a big right to left pass coming through number 11. Lewis Nicol out to Nicole in the corner there, but unable to finish in the corner.
Yeah, the defence looked really strong there from Otago. There really wasn't much on.
And they've managed to get the ball back. Auckland, good field position again. This combination's been quite a strike, so we've got Nicol on the ball. He's quite agile for a solid thick set of build, and Nathan's got the speed at 10 there, so yeah, they're just trying to, I guess, find their feet, Auckland. Coached by a very experienced coach, Tony Langahetau, who's was the New Zealand Open mixed coach for 2 World Cups. So he's got plenty of experience. And there's that coach killer there, Nathan.
Yeah.
Transition.
Another mistake coming off there.
Yeah, Auckland will look to capitalise on this. They've had 3 chances at the line as we see it set up through current touch black Danyon to another current touch black Mark Hodson. What can these two produce? As we see Mark with the ball, caught it dummy half. Just a few crucial areas are creeping into both teams. Those 1%ers that both coaches will be looking to amend.
These Otago players will be really looking to get to the box. They've had to D 3 sets out in a row. And, here we go again.
And the head coach for Otago, Dame Vernon, he's already got a few grey hairs just from those first 3 sets. He's also the assistant coach for the Touch Blacks, Open Mixed, and he's going at it against Tony Langahetau. So this is an awesome matchup in the coaching stocks. It's just riddled with errors, this game.
Yeah, it might just be a battle of the legs here. Both teams are coming off, I think maybe this might be their 11th game of the tournament, so both teams will definitely be feeling the effects of a tough couple of days.
Otago definitely needed that penalty there. Good strong drive by Mackenzie Hoare. They'll be looking to capitalise on this free ride.
As we see Otago coming into their green zone, hopefully looking to break down the Auckland defence. As we go through Johnson, who feeds to Hoare with a right to left. Auckland player tries to get in the channel there, Turner.
They seem to shut their sweep play down really well, Auckland, getting that link up into that channel.
Maya, we're starting to see a lot more of these links trying to defensively be able to capture this ball. Is it tough to referee when they're leaving the scoreline so quickly?
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, the control referee very rarely will catch them. When you do catch the link, it's normally because of the teamwork coming through from the sideline. So you're really listening out to your buddy on the sideline in terms of if he's calling the link back on side, but very much so that's a hard part to referee down on the scoreline.
So basically you're just watching that one zone and just ears open, listening for that outside call?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't have your eyes anywhere other than on the ball when you're the centre referee, so that's where you have to make sure that teamwork is crucial and effective, so listening out to your buddy and what he's saying.
And you mentioned earlier on, Maya, that we've got Rochelle out there, the female ref, and she's in the top 3 in the world. She's been refereeing for many years, hasn't she?
Yeah, and she's also an extremely successful rugby league referee, and I believe in the high performance program in the rugby league in New Zealand. So she's a very accomplished referee, and at such a young age, I mean, it's a huge success. So yeah, she runs around and she looks fitter and faster than most that run around in that uniform.
Yeah, I did remember going to the Auckland Nines, and she was refereeing at the Nines, so it was awesome to see. But here we have Auckland hot on attack. Look out for 5 here. Wuramu, he's a good ball player, a bit of a glue in the team for Auckland, and he'll just control things along with Mana. So 6 and 5, they've been around a long time, and no doubt you would have played against both of those gentlemen, Kev.
Yeah, I got the privilege to play against both Manu and Takari in the open men's grade, but as we see, they're both playing here in the open mixed final, and Wuramu being a veteran with that touch black side, look for his experience definitely towards the back end of the halves, I believe.
Kev made a good point before about their leagues. These teams have played 8 to 9 games already this tournament, so this will be a real tester after a big week.
Yeah, and we just see these crucial 1% errors coming into the game. There hasn't been much field battle. A lot of it's been 5 dominant, just through Otago not being able to complete their sets. As we see Auckland here on attack through Drummond. Feeding back to Nickel. What can Rolliston do at half here? He gives it back to Nickel. Nickel with the footwork. Oh, lovely bit of footwork, but great defence there by Otago as well to stop that try through McKenty.
Auckland really need to capitalise on these chances that they're getting, because I don't think Otago are going to make this many mistakes as the game carries on.
Yeah, this is a real chess match, this one. The last game we saw, I think the final score's 13-6, just full of touchdowns. But this one, everyone's still just trying to find each other, figure each other out. I like the contact on the touch in the 5. They're getting nice body-on-body touches. And it's good to see Rochelle's set a standard, as Maya said earlier in the game. Once a penalty's given, the refs don't really want to give them. There's a standard set. So here we go, Auckland. Yeah, same thing. A lot of nerves. A lot of nerves in this early game. I don't think I've seen a final like this in many years.
I think a lot of those nerves may come from quite a few younger players. This Otago team seems to be pretty young. Auckland with a little bit more experience, but a very young final.
Yeah, and both coaches will be wanting to cut out these errors that are creeping into the game. A lot of experience out there with a lot of both teams having a lot of New Zealand representatives or ex-representatives through their systems. So look for it to clear up hopefully before the end of this first half, as we see Otago in attack here through Johnson. Another penalty there. Otago, first chance at the line.
Watch number 5, Mackenzie Hoare here. He's probably going to look to take control.
So we've got Thomas on the ball here, 8 for Otago. He's come through the youth tours to Australia. He went away with a 15 mixed team 2011, I think 2012. So there's a lot of reps out there. The winger for Otago there, Sam Hollow. She's another youth player come through the Pathways program. But here we go, 1. He's done well to Paidi. Younger brother of James, and younger or older brother to Paidi. And here we go, Thomas on the ball. The thing with the mixed game, you've got to go back and try to attack that gill link. So Macca's going to come around on a sweep. That's a nice touch. Ooh, a little bit physical.
Yeah, it is. It is physical in that game. I'll pass it over to our ref. He'll comment on that.
So, yeah, some touches can be hard and there not be a penalty. It's all around the effect it has on the roll ball. So, as you've seen after that touch, the player was unable to perform the roll ball, and therefore we've gone back for the penalty.
As we see brother of Mackenzie Hoare, Taylor Hoare, come onto the field. He'll look to set things up. Very good passer of the ball. Good good feet as well, nice and fast as we play through Duff. Good defence here by Auckland. Oh, repetitive offences on the line here, Maya. What does that mean? That one has to stand on the side?
Yeah, so when there's 2 penalties for players not moving forward of the line in a row, one player from the defensive line is then required to go stand on the sideline. That player stands on that sideline until their team regains possession of the ball. Once they regain possession of the ball, they're allowed to re-enter the field and continue play.
And there we have it. Otago capitalise on those 2 penalties in a row, causing a player to stand on the sideline and take the lead. 1 touchdown to 0.
What's the name of that penalty? Does that penalty have a name?
So the penalty is just for not moving forward or for rolling too early, yeah. And so what we're trying to get away from is this Mexican standoff. And so to encourage that, we put players on the sideline. As you can see there's a greater consequence in terms of a touchdown.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Maya. And here we have Auckland. So 15, 14 on the ball mark. This combination's a real strike weapon. So Nate Turner from the Loaded Club, recount there. So this combination, it's a new combination that Auckland have come up with. Number 15 plays in the link role, and he's a big body in the channel. He's tall, plays a lot of open men's, and he's come over to the mixed game, which is definitely going to be an asset for the Touch Blacks moving forward.
Now, Hiki, you talk about the channel. What is this channel?
So if we can get a defensive setup so we can see it on the screen. So basically it doesn't matter where you are, you're trying to get in between 2 attacking players. You're trying to get up into that passing lane. Yeah, hence the channel, but it's the outside of the link. And here's Daniel, nice over the top, forward, out of the head, nope, play through. And that's a draw, so it's taken 10 minutes for Auckland to touchdown. 1-1 now with 10 minutes remaining in the first half.
Both teams look to have loosened up a little bit, and it should be a little bit more of a free-flowing game now, a few less mistakes.
Yeah, just a great combination there through the 3 current Touch Black mixed players, and Daniel with a lovely left to right over the top. And number 2 for Auckland, Whanau Prime touches down. 1-0. Can Otago reply? As we see Duff on the ball, back to Hoare. Oh, lovely touchdown there through Otago's number 7, Abby Johnson, also a current Touch Black representative as well. So both teams looking for their experience to get these touchdowns on the board.
Yeah, there was a really good chopper hole. We're about to see come up on camera now from Abby Johnson, hitting in between the middle, the link and the winger, chopping that hole.
And lovely finish as well. Lucky to hold on to that ball, but she does, and it takes the score out to 2 touchdowns to 1.
Now, Hika, what are the girls' main roles in the game of mixed?
Well, on this side here, they have to protect the outside. Beautiful ball. Beautiful ball out wide, and Auckland just strike back straight away. So, what girl are you talking about?
Just the girls' main roles in the mixed game.
The link girl?
Oh, the link girl, yep.
The link girl? Okay, so the link girl, she's a real grinder. So, in today's game, she's a bit of a ball player. She does a lot of rucking. She has excellent communication. So that's, I guess, you're just another player really in that skill. Not too much different to a guy link really. Whereas the wingers, their roles are slightly different. They become dummy half a lot more, depending on your pattern. But here we have it, Otago, hot on attack. And so that one there, I always wonder how far you can, before you pull out of those ones, Maya. Like they call it, is it when the touch is imminent?
Yeah, we're definitely, as you see, Otago attacking the line here. Long ball out to the left hand. Great skill there on number 15. Yeah, it's definitely something we're coached at the international level about making sure that teams stay outside the 5 before the touch is made. And so Auckland got away with it a few times. I'm sure the referee coach will address that issue with the 3 referees at halftime.
Awesome. And what a finish here by Atawhai Hortene. Just part of the New Zealand High Performance Touch Blacks program. Beautiful finish in the left-hand corner there. Spacing and timing was good on that one, Kev.
Yeah, it was a good finish. She got nice and low after the pass was received and was able to make the touchdown before the touch was made. Good finish there by the Otago winger. As the attack comes through Takere, nice little 2-step play there. Otago equal to the task. They'll be looking to go through these 2 boys here, Takere and Mana. Mana on the ball. Nice little shimmy. Applying for the offside. Not given. No given. Here we are. penalty back to Auckland.
This game's a little bit tit for tat, so Otago will be really looking to get this D set out and getting that stopper.
Yeah, no, it seems that both teams' nerves have settled and they're starting to feel a little bit more confident in the game, and we can see a bit more free-flowing touch. Good touch there by Taylor Hoare. Coming back through Nickel. Takari probably looking to use the ball a bit here. Very good ball player. Nickel throws left to right. Good defence by Otago as they scramble to make that touch. Auckland looking to take another advantage of a scrambled defence. Playing through Nickel, catches the man offside. Ball down, unlucky there. Abby tried to come in to save her middle there. But Lewis Nickel equal to the task, ball down.
Yeah, and if you look there, the Otago defence was just like they were too keen to get up. So there's two boys actually get in quite similar space. So they get caught there, you know, both of them. And once that's all over there. So I'm pretty sure their coach, Damo, will talk to them. It's good to be keen, but we've got to be onto it, trying to get in and win that space.
Yeah, just got stuck in the mud there, didn't he, Hicks, and wasn't able to recover. As Otago looked to reply, Johnson, Hoare, to Tapaire. Good defence there by Turner. They'll be really looking to make advantage of this set down here. With only 5 minutes to go, it's important to try and get momentum into the half. How important is momentum to you into the half, Hicks?
Yeah, even if you can just dig out a team before half-time, you know, that's awesome. You know, that gives you confidence. If you score, that gives you confidence. But if it's you're on the receiving end, they score right on half-time, you know, that feeling's not a nice feeling going into the half. And you might even be leading. So, yeah, momentum's everything. Maya talked about it early on in the Thames Valley game and the first final with the North Harbour Girls, Te Tai Toketo. That momentum was shifting all the time, and it is a big thing. It's a boost, mental boost for you. So here we go, Nickel, and 10. He's got gas to burn all day. He's very quick. That's not really... Oh, he managed to get a nice little penalty there on the fifth and final. That's another... I feel sorry for the Otago coach because his team have made a lot of errors. That penalty on the fifth and final, but yet they find themselves 3-3.
Yeah, they're just showing a little bit of probably inexperience out there. Oh, big long ball out. Oh, great hands out by number 4 from Auckland, Jazz Smith.
Yeah, good touchdown there by number 4, Jazz Smith. And Auckland extend their lead for the first time in this game at 4 touchdowns to 3. So Lewis Nickel again, just managing to square up the middle. Link didn't need to come in there, and good option taking as we see number 4, Smith, score in the corner.
And we all know their catches win matches, don't they, Kev?
Yes, outstanding there, Nate, outstanding. And what about these wingers, though? Beautiful finishes. And you see a lot of them play a lot of different codes, netball, basketball, rugby league, and just the transition of skills. So here's Rory Van Voot, and 9, Rory, fitness machine. He's been known to clock the high 20s in the yo-yo. Big number 9. Oh, and they get another, yes, they get a bit of a piggyback this set there, Kev.
Yeah, last touch penalty, another coach killer. Tony will be looking to cut them out leading into the second half, as will Damo for Otago. Bit of ill discipline from both teams on the 5 as we go through Hoare. With a right to left, lovely ball over the top. Great finish in the corner there by Hortony.
Now we see Otago in that set. They managed to get a penalty down on the line and get their strike players on. So those players had only been on for 30 seconds or so, but they got their strike set on with Hoare and Duff on there to try and hit them back into the game.
And same thing again, you know, we've got our outsides running in on a shut there, Kev, and we want to try and get nice and tight and square and saving up and out, on those ones. So this will be straight out of Tony Alagahetau's playbook. So Nate, he's got a big body, nice and strong, and then he comes back running an outside here. Nice, and there's 2 link on link. These 2, they're both New Zealand touch blacks in the program there. Nate Turner, 15 for Auckland, and Rory Van Voot for Otago.
Yeah, some good personal battles at the moment as we see it go through Danyon. Hodson with the scoop, finds the in goal. Touch is called.
Great mirror defence out there by the Otago outside defenders. Those girls really stuck on their man and didn't let them free.
That must be another dicey part of the game, the mirroring. Obviously, it can get quite physical. Is it tough to see from an on-field perspective, or is it easier to see from the sideline?
Yeah, so what you're doing is you're just sticking to your core roles as you would as a player. So when you're in the middle of the field refereeing, you've got to make sure your eyes are always on the ball and the players near to that. And when you're on the sideline, you're looking at everywhere else to that. So what you're looking for is, one, to see if the attacker's pushing off the defender, or two, if the defender's obstructing the attacker from being able to get the ball.
Excellent, thank you, Maya. And just as we blinked, Auckland come back, and this was quite a soft one. This is scored in between two players. So he gets the ball back in what we call a quickie step back dive low, and one should be a lot tighter, should be right under there, and he should really, we don't like to see that.
Try line and ball down. Auckland take the lead, 5 touchdowns to 4. As we see Duff going back to Hoare, another right to left, good ball over the top. Winger couldn't unfortunately finish that one.
But they get another set down here, Otago. They've got 1 minute left before the end of the half to see if they can hit back going into even into the break.
And this is that momentum that we were talking about before. Can Otago score going into the half, or will Auckland hold them out?
Maya, with just sort of 50 seconds left, are the refs aware of at the time? Are they always aware how much time's left?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have RSOs, and they're carrying the water and the cards for us, and also passing messages from one referee to another, and definitely the time is a big part. That's as we see, just a ball drop there. So what we really do in the last 5 minutes, we know that physically we're probably not peaking, so we've got to really lift up those comms, and it's just a switch in our head that we get the 5 minute call to finish off the half strong.
Awesome. Thank you for that insight, Maya. We're really lucky to have this type of intel. And here we go. We're running an outside tricks play. Step back in. No, she hasn't called the touch. It's just Jacobs. Oh, no, she called the touch. Yep, Savannah. She's got a boot there. And she's a good honour skill, Savannah. She was part of the Open Mix Touch Blacks team last year. So she's called the touch. And it's pretty much time over. I think the hooter's going to go, if it hasn't already gone. There we go. Final hooter. And he's going to have to... And this boy's quick. Oh, nice. Excellent defence. And that's probably a true reflection of the first half. Auckland leading. I think they've had a few more opportunities. So they're leading into the half 5-4. And your Open Mix final, Auckland versus Otago.
Yeah, good complimentary there from younger brother Daniel Nicol, able to help his other brother Lewis, who was doing the other job down on the offensive end. He was managed to equal his task defensively. Slow start to the game with a lot of errors, but as we saw them get a little bit more confidence during the game, we saw it open up a little bit, and as a result, 9 touchdowns in the half.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in the second half. I think Tika talked before about the two coaches of both sides, both top-level coaches, and it will be interesting to see what messages they relay to their players and how they come out and change the game in the second half.
Now, Maya, not only a top ref, you also coach yourself. How would you talk to your team around a lot of errors that have crept in that first half? How would you sort of stomp that?
Yeah, Kev stated not playing outside of that, and then it's the attitude that it's not about trying to get off the field for a rest, but making sure you're taking care of those key fundamental skills, roll ball, catching, passing, to make sure you get that job done right. Then you can have a sub, so the field's set up for our attackers to come on and finish it off.
And if you were lucky enough to see there, we saw that both teams changed sub-boxes at halftime there. A little bit of a mind game that might have been played at the start of the game, a little bit of a tactic maybe. So interesting to see how the second half might pan out.
Hika, is there any advantage in changing the sub-box? Any left to right plays or any advantages about it?
I've always wondered that. I've always wondered, why is it even a rule? Why is it in touch? And I don't know the reasoning behind it. I know, as a coach, you just want as much time as possible, and that might take 40 seconds out of your coaching time. So yeah, what do you think, Maya?
A few years ago, we never had the space that we do now in terms of field settings, so we had to share sub boxes, and then it turned into around the advantage or disadvantage around the sun or the wind and stuff like that. So that's where it come in. It's not at the international game. In the international game, you win the toss, you pick the box, you have it for the whole game. Yeah,
I've always wondered that. Yeah, it's an interesting one. But from a coach's perspective, you want as much time, and it unfortunately takes time out. But it is, like Cav was saying, it is a little bit of cat and mouse tactics. Some people don't like it, and some people rub it in when you've got to change.
Yeah, I think Auckland Open Mix are quite known for liking to change their sub-box.
So we see both teams here getting the 30-second call, so it's not too long until we're kicking back off the action into the second half at the 2018 E2 Whanau National Touch Championships, and we're here in the Open Mix final. Auckland leading Otago 5 touchdowns to 4, and Auckland will remain with the ball to start the second half here. We're looking to see if they can capitalise.
It's really good to see a tight final. I think these two teams have been quite clearly the better two teams in this grade, so it's really good to see that there's a really tight final out here.
Yeah, and it's, they've come through the 3 days and managed to keep all their players nice and fit to show up in the big cunny, as they say. So here we've got Nickel on the ball, and this is this combination. Nathan, he's got a lot of speed to burn. They just go through the hands here, skill set, nice and easy. And I can guarantee you that this would be a play. Because what they've done there going through the hand, they've forced the outsides to come in and shut, haven't they, Kev?
Yeah, we see Nickel here. He just runs a nice little pocket here for Ralston. Ralston just finds his middle. Link didn't really need to come in there. And then we can see a nice draw and pass. Winger had no option but to hold her space. And touchdown to number 4, Jazz Smith, her second touchdown of the game.
As we
Duff
see
with the ball.
As we see Otago driving up, trying to hit back. They're down by 2 now. They're going to really need to get a shift of momentum here.
And here we go, 11 on the ball, Duff. He's agile. That nice, excellent touch there. Excellent touch there from Nicole there for the Auckland side. She's part of the New Zealand Open Mix team, Nicole Drummond. She plays on the wing, but she's quite versatile and is a really strong link too. So here we go, Duff. He's got good footwork. All these excellent touch on the outside. They lost their way a little bit on that tap-off, Nath.
Yeah, they did a little bit. They are looking a little bit unorganised, a little bit flustered. Hopefully they can settle into the game and really make this final exciting. Going back to Nicole Drummond, Hika, comes from a great sporting family. With brother Mitchell is playing for the Crusaders, has an All Black game under his belt as well. So she's definitely father's favourite, I know that one. And she would see herself as the better sports person in the family.
Nice. So we just 15. You asked earlier on, Nathan, about what's this channel defence. So you watch 15. He gets up, and just enough time, and that's a great read from Nate. He won't be too happy that he didn't get a piece of it, but his timing on that defence was excellent. Here we go, Taylor. Yes, and the Auckland defence, they're quite quick too. So as quick as Taylor is. They'll be able to pick him up, but hopefully he can step back, and he's got a lovely pass on him also, Kev.
Yeah, he's got a great right to left and can also throw left to right. As we see Taylor with the ball here. Duff looking to go through, scoop, bit of a back flip, good hands by Taylor. Unfortunately, Abby wasn't able to regather the juggle, and Auckland will yard out of here.
Yeah, the read from that, going back to that channel defence, Hika, interesting that they gave them another whole set on the
fence now, like their spacing, and Cav will be able to correct me, but when that link's high in the channel, the winger can be slightly wider. But yeah, Auckland have definitely settled now. They've found their feet. Play on, call, ball gone. And there we go. Yes, Auckland just score off the back of a nice driving pattern. Okay, yes. And that's their celebration. Yeah, well done. That's the Pearl Jam celebration, we'll call it.
If they don't win the game, at least they'll win the celebration competition, because they've got no competition.
Let's have a look here. We'll see if it comes up on the replay. It might be actually a little bit of a popular game at the moment, Fortnite, that I think they might have been trying to intimidate there. As we see Otago really needed to strike back here. They can't let Auckland get away with it. This is that momentum shift we talked about. Auckland taking a lot of chances. As we see the brother of Taylor, Mackenzie, throw a nice left to right. Good hands by the winger there.
Yeah, the Auckland defence have really seemed to shut down these long balls. Otago scored a couple in the first half, but they've those wingers are really picking that long ball. Kev, you're a bit of an expert on picking the long ball. What are some key things that a winger should look for on that long ball?
Oh, there's heaps of different things that we need to look for. It's very much individually based, and it's also kind of based on who's your defender at link. If you've got a strong defender, then you're able to stay nice and loose out there rather than having to creep in tight if you're not as confident. As we see Auckland through attack, through Hodson with a nice left to right. Back to Turner, long dive. Did he get it down? He has. Auckland extend the lead, 8 touchdowns to 4.
And that would have to be the set of the game, I reckon, from that defensive pattern. The yards, I think Mana made about 12 metres. Drummond come in. Beautiful strike plant there from Danyon. And this tuck, so this throw in behind. And Nate on the outside. Macca clears his outside, but unfortunately his inside was a little bit too late. And Nate, great to see him in the mixed game. Auckland go up by a few now, leading in. Score now 8-4 to Auckland.
Yeah, going back to that tuck, I think that tuck is really designed to beat this high link defence now, getting that link up in the channel. Now, if we've got somebody running deep in the link, it takes away the threat of the defensive link up in the channel.
As we see McKenzie with the ball, bit of a right foot there. Auckland equal to the task. Nickel doing his stuff on the line now. Did it down the other end. Now defensively he's trying to be stronger. As we see McGinty with the ball, looking to team up with Van Voot. Back to McGinty. Bit of cat and mouse here. Trying to get that penalty for rolling. Good smarts. Van Voot, good solid drive. McKenzie, a little bit of a rotation there on the goal line. And Otago, strike back. Through Rambo. What number do we have here? Number 13. Reuben Gray. Good touchdown.
Yeah, nice comms there, Kev. And so these, out of the 6 players out there, 5 of them have all been part of the New Zealand Pathways program in some way. But then we'll get our man, as you say, Rambo, on the score sheet. 8-5, Auckland lead.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much the hard road that Otago had to make is going to make a difference in the second half. Auckland have definitely come out the stronger team. As we see, they've hit back again. Good wee play by Nicole Drummond in the middle, showing the boys how to do it.
Yeah, Nicole getting nice and involved here. Auckland utilising their boys. Looking at the dingo play here, the 3-3 peel. Not worrying about it, passing it straight back to our splitter. Danyon, good left hand dive. Perfect way to have the ball, not in his right hand, but his left hand. Outstretches the defender and extends the lead.
Yeah, excellent. And he's a strike player. Danyon, part of the Touch Blacks. He's one of those few players that he's an all-rounder. He's a good defender, good yardsman, good attacker, and he definitely lets his touch do the talking. And look at that little bit of speed, and that's mixed touch at its best, attacking that gill link. And that takes the score 9-5.
I really think at half-time the referee coach must have talked about the 5 metres. You see on the first half a lot of offside penalties and not rolling forward on the scoreline, yet in the second half we're seeing a lot more end-to-end action, playthroughs and tries being scored, and ideally that's what you want from the referee, is really a good big 5 metres, early communication, playthrough so that tries can be scored.
Yep, and you can definitely see that has happened this half, and we're starting to see a lot more touchdowns also. So here we go, Auckland, this Pearl Jam combination again. Nate on the ball, just going short, running a phase play. Beautiful touch from Abby. She won that ruck. He couldn't get a quick play of the ball, so she's playing well at link. Oh, and here's this little Deutsch play. Comes around, calls the touch. Nice, Jordan, well done. So these two on the screen, 7 here, Abby and Jordan on the inside. They're both part of the New Zealand Pathways program, have been identified, and Abby was she's part of the New Zealand Women's squad. So there's some talent out there. Excellent work.
Yeah, good 5th touch defence there. You don't want to be caught creeping in or chasing in, and Otago able to hold Auckland out. Now it's important that they get through their transition zone and get to a good strike at the back end of the set. As we see through Van Voot, taking advantage of the offside play. Back to Johnston. Good yards here from Otago. Looking to end the set well. Looking for experience through the 2 brothers here.
What can they muster up?
Back to Hoare. Macca and Taylor, what do they have in their little bag of tricks? As we see Taylor scooping through into the end goal. Can he find someone free? He does.
Yeah, score a touchdown. It's about having control of the ball prior to placing the ball on the ground. So just simply downward force is not what is required. It's the control as well.
We've seen some awesome tries over the years being given in that situation. I know your brother, has got some amazing tries on some of that stuff, aerial stuff, and ball down really quick. So it's good to get the ruling on that now. But here we go. There's 10 minutes to go. Plenty of time for Otago, but they've got to take the opportunities when they come. They've got to finish everything they get, because Auckland's not going to offer a lot.
Exactly. Auckland just making a mistake coming out of their yards. So perfect time for Otago to hit back here.
Yeah, 3 experienced players now on the ball. Duff and both brothers of Taylor and Mecca. As we see Taylor with another right to left. Auckland, they've definitely addressed that at half-time. They're making sure that their defence is just a little bit looser. As we see Danyon come in for a good touch. Duff for a dive. Danyon equal to the task. Hodson.
Just if you've seen that last touch before the setup there and you wondered why that wasn't a penalty for a hard touch. So, again, there was a lot of force in the touch, but because the player was able to get the roll ball away effectively and he wasn't impeded in that way, then that's when the referee's going to play on.
Right, so is that when you see a lot of these players do the old Hollywoods and sort of sometimes get those penalties go their way, Maya? That's the rule and they couldn't get the ball down?
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, that's the gamesmanship that we have in all types of games. It's trying to push the referee and get him to see the picture that you want him so you can get the outcome that you want to have.
Excellent. Now, here we go again. Auckland, I say they don't offer much, but they've made 2 back-to-back errors and run a nice phase play there. Yes, unfortunately, dropped the ball just a little bit too close to the line.
Yeah, Auckland will be looking to get out of trouble here. They've done a lot of sets on their line in the last couple of minutes. Otago haven't been fortunate enough to capitalise on the amount of attack they've had. Can Auckland go down and extend their lead?
Great work by the Auckland women, getting in there and doing some of the yards, giving those boys a little bit of a rest so they can come off the back here and really power through. And as we see Auckland coming in, and it's number 15, Nate Turner.
Yeah, good little extra play there as we see Auckland just making use of good transition. Danyon being able to beat a bad body position there through Otago's defender. Sees a shutter, good vision, and net able to cross over. Auckland extend their lead, 10 touchdowns to 6.
I guess there, Kev, that the Otago team was really on the back foot, and it was really hard for them to defend, but that was started from the yards right off coming out of the half.
Yeah, they were just a little bit hard done by their Otago. They got under a good little push set there by Auckland coming through, and they weren't able to find their shape, and Auckland took advantage of it as they came through the field.
I think you're seeing now, like the experience that Auckland have. They're going for a three-peat in this final. Unfortunately, Otago doesn't have the same calibre of experience, but that's a nice, beautiful chop there. Rory Van Voot gets in, so yeah, but they will gain from these experiences. It'd be good to see a couple of older heads amongst this group, but I'm sure Damien, there's some really awesome touch happening down in Otago. Their youth girl system down there's coming through now. They've got Open Men's Touch Blacks coach was based in Otago for many years, Dr. Raul Das, and also Tony Wall's part of the management crew. So Otago have definitely got a lot of good systems happening down there in the deep south, Highlander country.
As we see Hodson with the ball here, Drummond back at the half, playing the 33 peel. Oh, nice little tuck out the back. Good assist play, lovely team try there by Auckland. Savannah Asafo in the corner, number 1. Auckland extend their lead again, 11 touchdowns to 7.
We see their man Nate Turner again involved in the play. Whatever's happening, he seems to be involved. Lots and lots of space out there, a nice easy finish on the wing.
Now, Maya, it's not only a long weekend for the players, but it's also a long weekend for the referees. Is there any game that you like to target in terms of speed where you kind of get a rest?
Yeah, the mixed game's a good game. I wouldn't say it's not as fast as the others, but what it is it's a little bit more predictable, a little bit more around the middle in terms of the male players being the more dominant on the ball players. So the mixed game around the scoreline is a lot nicer to ref. I wouldn't say easier, but a lot nicer to ref. And just going back into talking about how long the days are. So referees each morning have to be down here at 6 o'clock. Sometimes the first round is until 8. There's a number of things they have to go through, and they're often they all come here together and leave together, not getting home till 8:30, 9 o'clock sometimes. So it is a long day, and the referees do an incredible job.
So it would sort of say the mixed touch is sort of like, I guess, the Porsche of touch, and the men's is the Ferrari.
Yeah, or probably more like the Mack trucks smashing into each other, I'd say the men's touches. It's very fast, but it's very, very physical. Sometimes you think you're reffing a game of rugby or game of league rather than touch. But yeah, mixed touch is a beautiful game and definitely one that sits close to me in my younger years.
Excellent. And older brother of one of the greatest open mixed players, definitely agility. straight out of Pairo there. So here we are back live, just under 5 minutes remaining in this final, and here's the Southside ball, and she's just hugged that line all day in Auckland. They're starting to run away with this, 12 touchdowns to 7.
Yeah, Jazz Smith, number 4, crossing for a hat-trick, 3rd touchdown of the game. Once again, lovely constructed try. We see Ralston here split, engages that defending shutter, nice little tuck play out the back, and Tarokura, a nice little pass out to Jazz to score in the corner. Lovely speed to finish.
Yes, and just those experiences. So this is the first time the Auckland Open mixers have actually gone through, finished won that game and gone through and had a big rest. I caught up with a couple of them today, and they were just unsure what to do because they've normally come through the back door and played the extra game, but they've learned how to manage themselves, and I guess when you've got 4 or 5 New Zealand players in your group, they should definitely shine in these big games.
Talking about the mixed grade there, Hika, well, who are some other strong teams coming through the mixed grade this year?
Southland's been the program that Dennis runs down in Invercargill. Southland have been really awesome. They show up to all different types of tournaments in the North Island. They get really, really good financial support down there, and they use the money wisely. So he's been going tuning out some really nice players in the Deep South. Obviously, Otago over the years have chipped away. But they'd probably be the Bay. I think Bay of Plenty they've got a whole new look team. And as we know, there's no greater mixed province than the Bay of Plenty. They've won the most open mixed gold medals. But, sometimes it's not too sharp on the day. I was talking to a friend that we know, Puddles, Jason Puddles, who's back in the mix where it all sort of started for him. And they ended up making it through the top 4, and he was pretty chuffed on the Canterbury side there, Kev.
Yeah, Jason Puddles has done a lot of work with that Canterbury mix side, who I think that might be the first time in a while since back in 2010 when they actually won the mixed grade at Waitakere there. So it's good to see that Canterbury is starting to get their mixed touch back up and running, as we see Johnson with the ball with a lovely right to left pass there. Auckland again, their defence is definitely strengthened in the second half as Otago are really struggling to cross that scoreline.
Yeah, I think we've seen a couple of the powerhouses in mixed move across to playing men's and women's, which is always good for our game, getting more people involved. But yeah, we've still got a rematch of our final from last year.
Yeah, excellent. And just the Auckland defence, they just look like they're in really good space, Maya. They're holding now, and they're just slowly up and sliding across the side of the field there, Kev. So they're definitely tuning into, I wouldn't say top gear, but they're definitely at a really, really nice gear. Now they're going to run they look like they were going to run the short ball, not the tuck there, Kev. I think you read that one.
Yeah, I think Mark was hoping to feed the small ball there, but Danyon looking to get out of the way so he didn't impede the pass, and unfortunately ball didn't go to hand.
For the situation of the game, there was a really good set for Auckland. All they need to do is get down to the other end. There's 2 minutes to go and they're up by 5. The last thing they want to be doing is giving Otago free rides down to their own line.
Yeah, I think statistically, if we look at this second half, Auckland's completion rate will just be a little bit higher than Otago, and I think the scoreboard is reflecting that at this moment. As we creep into the final 2 minutes, what can Otago do to produce a couple of touchdowns to try and claw this back?
We've definitely got the right men on the ball, but I think his most powerful weapon this game has been a step-back throw. I think you've got to give credit to Auckland and probably credit to Tony Lagahitauhu, the coach, that he identified that their link was slamming really hard, so he gave them that tuck play, and it's just probably been the difference in the second half. I think it's created about 3 touchdowns in a row. But that's what happens when you're up against a master coach like Tony that's been around many, many years. But Damo is definitely the new kid on the block in the open mixed scene.
Yeah, as we see Ralston using his speed, trying to engage a penalty there, getting the play through. We're coming back. Oh my, what are we seeing here?
Seems as if the referee's given from that signal, that's a phantom touch, we call it in the referee world, where the players claimed a touch that he didn't actually affect. So the referee's gone and given them a penalty try.
Excellent, Maya. We would have been in the commentary box not knowing what that was for, so thanks for that call.
I think for the game of touch, it's really important that we are really honest about our touches. this game wouldn't work if we were going to call touches here, there and everywhere when they weren't made. So it is a really important thing, and we see 99.9% of our players out there being honest, but it is good when somebody's not being honest that they get picked up for it.
Yeah, good honesty there through Taylor, acknowledging that he missed the touch, and John Dusto was able to acknowledge that. And in reply, it went out to 13 touchdowns to 7. As we see the final play of the game, Otago choose to just die with the ball. And there we have it, Auckland, our 2018 Open Mixed champions, 13 touchdowns to 7.
And just leading on from that, 2016, 17 and now 2018 national champions. They've done the three-peat, and not many teams have done that in any grades. I know down Cavs Way, the Canterbury men's done it by Open Mix, but in this day and age, it's very hard to get a three-peat.
Yeah, it is tough to come back to back, and in my younger years I was lucky enough to be a part of that. And also I think Auckland not too long ago was able to do their three-peats as well, so well done to Auckland Open Mixed.
Right, and yes, we've got one more game to go today, the big Open Men's final, but just reflecting back on the winners today. In our first match we had the 21 girls final, and who were victors in that one, Mine?
Yeah, the TTT girls, they had a fantastic game there. They were dominant in the first half and got up enough for a lead to hold on to it going towards the end. North Harbour, to their credit, came back in that second half. We've seen Foster and Minto, really good effort by those two girls, dominated the ball in the second half, got North Harbour really back into the game. I thought we were going to have a drop-off, but to their credit, TTT, well done, held on, great effort.
Excellent. And then moving on to the second game was the 21 mixed final. Thames Valley versus Counties. It was a little bit to and fro, and then it got quite tight in the end, didn't it, Maya?
Yeah, similar to the game beforehand with Counties. Counties looked like they very much had a purpose. They were all on the same page right from the start of the game. Got ahead in the first half. Thames Valley, obviously, through the coach at the halftime break, come back. Keegan Harris really dominated the ball, brought Thames Valley back into the game, but just once again couldn't quite get them to the point where they were level pegged.
From there we went to the 21 boys final. Kapiti Horowhenua faced the locals, Auckland. Yes, I mean, I'm a Kapiti Horowhenua man myself, but how did you see that game, Maya?
Yeah, Kapiti just absolutely dominant from start to finish and absolutely deserved that win. I thought Tian McIntyre, in particular in a losing team, played absolutely outstanding, and he had cramp a few times, but very good.
Our dream team right here. Well done.
And here we have George with the winning captain.
Here we are, George Yonke, down here on sideline with the captain of the Auckland Open Mix champions for 2018, Mark Hodson, mate. How's it feeling out there?
Yeah, it was awesome, mate. Bit of a weird first half. Couldn't really get into our flow. We were a little bit disappointed, but in the second half, we could get into our transition and get it going. But full ups to Otago, man. 2 years in a row now. Been a huge battle, a little bit of a rivalry getting there, so I'm really enjoying it. And full credit to Otago again. They were awesome crew, awesome on the field as well.
Nice one. And once you get your groove, Mark, I know you got a good groove in there, mate, and you got it in the second half and you took it away. 13's usually unlucky for some, but today, man, lucky number, taking it out. Is that a three-peat?
Yeah, it is. Fortunately, yeah, very lucky, very blessed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for you? Let's go a bit on about yourself. You're with the Touch Blacks. A lot of things coming up in the near future. Tell us what that holds for you.
Just getting ready for the World Cup, hopefully. That's my main goal, but before that, we've got our Trans-Tasman coming up in April. So hope my body's pulled through. Just got to keep fit, have probably a week off, and then get back into that running onto that bike again, and get the pins going, getting ready for it.
Awesome, Mark, and it's a great start. Winning the Touch Nationals for 2018, champions three-peats. We'll be looking for you in April to represent New Zealand. Hopefully you're there, doing the deeds, taking on Australia.
Yeah, mate.
Wins on the cards?
Oh, yeah, we've got a really solid crew, so bring it on.
Awesome. And let's finish off with Touch. What a game. Touch.
What a game.
Love it.